Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about another financial hot topic, which is spending diets. You heard right. So when you think about a food diet, just replace food with money and you'll get the idea. Let's get started. So before I break down what a spending diet is, I'm going to break down a fast so that you get the idea. When doing a spending fast, you decide pretty much to get rid of discretionary spending, which means only spending money on items that are necessary. Now it's October, and right now I'm actually participating in a spending fast, which is called No Spend October. And what it is that during this fast, I am not spending any money if it is not a necessary item. Now, normally I've talked about giving myself the $20 allowance every week, which I usually spend on maybe like tea or breakfast, a little snack in the midday. But on a fast, I'm not giving myself any discretionary income to spend. All of the funds that I have that's left over after I pay my bills is going into my savings account for a specific reason. Now, most people who have joined the No Spend October challenge are saving to jumpstart their Christmas shopping or holiday spending. Personally, I'm not a crazy Christmas fanatic when it comes to buying gifts, so I'm going to be using my money towards a financial goal of mine. Now, going on a spending diet can seem very extreme, especially if you're used to kind of just freely swiping your card and spending your cash. So if you aren't able to kind of jump into a spending fast, I really recommend a spending diet. So choosing to participate in a spending diet is giving yourself an allotted amount of money to spend on non-necessities. So if you think of it in terms of when you're on a food diet, you might give yourself cheat days, or you might say, I can eat, 100 calories worth of non-healthy food to kind of satisfy my cravings. So it's similar with the spending diet. You might say, I'm going to give myself $100 a month to spend on non-necessities. And that can fall into the bucket of food, shopping, online cruising, whatever it is that you like to spend money on, but you want to kind of limit so that you aren't just going crazy. So as with any diet, you have to set rules, right? And a good place to start is separating your needs from your wants. So creating a list of what is considered a necessity, so you know that these are things that have to be paid regardless, right? So after you've figured out what your needs are and what amount of money has to be allocated to that, you then want to allocate an amount that you are going to spend on your non-necessities. So that's like entertainment, clothing, food, anything that's not considered necessity. And when I say food, I don't necessarily mean literally eating, because clearly groceries and food is a necessity. But what's not a necessity is excessively like eating out, buying lunch every day. But if you gave yourself, let's say $100 a month, you can choose to use some of that money to eat out or to buy lunch. So the next thing you want to do is set a timeline. So some people have it where they do like no spend days or no spend weeks. Since this is a diet, we're not completely cutting out spending, but we are limiting our spending, right? So how long are you going to do that? Is it going to be a month? Is it going to be 2 months? Personally, I think anything less than a month really won't be effective, because you are choosing to still spend. Now, if we were doing a spending fast and you were doing like complete no spend days or no spend weeks, then I could see it being more effective if you didn't do a month. But in order to be effective, if you're doing a diet, you should do it for an extended period of time, the same way when you're dieting from food. So set a timeline. You have to know what it is that you want to do and how long you want to do it for. So after you do those 3 things, the 4th thing that you want to do when you actually start your spending diet is to keep a running list. However you want to, whether that's literally by hand, whether you use like one of the budget tracker apps, or you can use like the notes that you have in your phone, the app, and keep a list of what you're spending on your non-necessities, because you have to keep note of that, right? Because when you reach your limit, guess what? There's no more spending. When you reach $100, That's it. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring how you're spending it so that you can allocate it across the month or across whatever your time period is as needed. And the thing that you want to do is take whatever funds that you have outside of what you spent on your necessities and then what you've allotted for non-necessities and automatically have it going to your separate savings account. The thing is, with the spending diet, you are still able to spend on non-necessities, but you are still saving money. So that money needs to be put away so that you aren't tempted to dip into that when you started to go over whatever your spending limit is. So like I've said in multiple videos, automate. That is the best way to get rid of that self-thinking little person in our head that says, oh, you have this amount of money, just take a little bit, it won't hurt, you can pay yourself back. No, let's not even get into all of that. Automate those extra savings. So what is the purpose of doing a spending diet? Honestly, one of the top reasons is to identify your spending triggers. And I also believe that it is to set you up to graduate into doing no spend days and no spend fast. And the thing is, completing a fast, if you've ever done one, you know you feel really good at the end. It's hard while you're actually doing it. But once it's done, you actually feel so much better. When doing a spending fast, you're able to really accelerate your savings and you're able to really see a change in your finances. Now, it's not meant to just completely change your world, but it's just like if you have a financial goal that you want to reach really quickly, you know, a debt that you want to pay down, not spending for a whole month can really accelerate that. You know, I've heard people actually like talk down on the spending diet and the spending fast, saying it's like a temporary fix or a quick fix to someone who, let's say, has bad spending habits or doesn't have control, because let's say you go on a spending fast this month, next month you might be right back to spending, you know, frivolously. The thing is, it all comes with time. You have to learn discipline. You have to learn how to take control of your finances. And as with anything, it takes time. So if you didn't get it right this month, you choose another month and you try it again. But that's why I said it's good to start with a diet, because then maybe you can work your way up with completely fasting from spending every now and then. It's not all the time. And as I said, I really do believe in being able to enjoy your money and do the things that you love. It's just if you have certain financial goals that you want to reach really quickly, or you want to accelerate and jumpstart your savings, you know, it's a good fix and it works. I've done it before. I'm doing it now. On my website, I'll be sharing testimonials after the challenge is done so that you can see how people other than myself feel about the challenge. Sometimes you have to put yourself in a tough spot just to see how you would react, so to speak. So if you are struggling with not being able to control like the small spending that you're doing day in and day out, I really suggest going on a spending diet and eventually upgrading to a spending fast. You know, if you follow these steps, it'll be very easy to actually implement, and then the hard part will be actually sticking to it. And I'll be the first to tell you, when I first started doing spending diets and spending fast, it was really hard to keep up with. And even when I messed up, I just kept going instead of just saying, oh, forget about it, I'll try again another month. No, maybe I spent a little today and I wasn't supposed to. Okay, tomorrow I know I'm not spending anything. So you just have to kind of trick yourself and psych yourself out. It really is a mind game. And as with anything, you change your mindset, you change your outcome. So get rid of the negative self-talk and encourage yourself to be able to complete a spending diet or a spending fast. And I'm sure you will see some changes in your finances. And even if it isn't a long-term change, you are bound to get a reality check in what your real spending habits are and where your problem lies. So if you have any questions, please let me know. As I said, I am actually completing the No Spend October challenge now. If you guys have any questions or want to know how that's been or how it went for me, please let me know and I'll do a video on that too. So until next time, guys, see you guys later. Bye.